This is Module 7, Lesson 2, the basic frame set. Before writing any HTML code in framesets, we must first look at a sketch of the frame set that we're about to build. This frame's definition is that this frame set has two frames. It's divided into two columns. Each frame has its own name and a width. So this is the container that we need to make. So this is our frame set. So we begin by opening up a notepad and writing in the basic shell. The first difference in the basic shell is that there are no body tags when you're doing frame sets, so we must delete the body tags. Instead of body tags, we've got opening tag called Frameset and a closing tag called Frameset. This represents the body of a frameset document. The document that we're about to build that you saw a second ago had two columns in it, that is, two frames. Inside the opening Frameset tag is where you divide the empty container. We're looking for a container with two columns, so we type in the word cols equals, and then we type in the percentages that we would like to divide the columns up into. So I want my first frame to be 20% and my second frame to be 80%. Once that's done, underneath the opening Frameset tag, we now type in the frame itself. So this frame tag represents the first 20%. The next frame tag represents the 80%. So depending on how many divisions you have up here at the top will depend how many frame tags you have in your document. The first frame is the frame with 20%, and this frame has a name, and its name is left. The 80% frame also has a name, and its name is main. So if you have a look at your frame set, the first 20% part is represented by the first frame tag, the second part is represented by the second frame tag. You have now built an empty container. So to look at this, we go to the File menu and down to Save. Close that particular page and refresh the screen behind. And now you can see that I've built an empty container with two frames divided into columns. Now let's look at a frame set that's divided up into three frames, but this time the frames are going down the screen. So now we can see three rows as opposed to three columns. The first row is called frame 1, its name is top and its width is 20. Second frame is main and its width is 60%. And the third frame is called bottom and its width is 20%. So this time we're going to build an empty container that's divided into three rows. So again we need to open up a brand new notepad and type in our basic shell. Again, because it's a frame set, we need to get rid of the body tags. Instead, we have the tags that we used the last time called Frameset Tags, which has an opening and a closing frame set. Inside the opening Frameset tag is where we type in how we would like to divide up our frame. Here we're saying this time it's in rows as opposed to saying it's in cols. We're saying rows. First row is 20%, the next row is 60%, and the last row is 20%. So this time we're dividing our frame set into three rows of 20, 60, and 20. Now that we have three frames, we need to type in three frame tags to represent each one of the percentages. So that first one represents the 20, then we have the 60% one, then we have a 20% one again. The first frame's name is top. The second frame has the name main, and the last frame has the name bottom. So these coincide with the percentages. The first one is the first frame, the second percent goes with the second frame, third percent goes with the third frame. So to have a look at this frame set, we save what we've done, we close down the notepad, and we refresh the screen behind. And now you can see a container with 3 rows. Go back over this lesson, make sure you understand making these different empty containers or frame sets before you move on to lesson 3.